Let's start off first conference. Noah, what do you got served up for us?
All righty. So we've got, some say it's the best conference in all of the land.
Oh, it is.
The Big 12. This tournament is starting on Tuesday. All of the games are on a neutral site in Kansas City.
I mean, it's just crazy to see two of those newcomers with bye weeks, though. You know.
Oh, you want to talk about?
I like to mess with them.
There's only one.
I like to mess.
Oh,
with
you got BYU single.
Yeah.
I get
BYU. Yeah. Well, what do you say? Like Houston, BYU. Yeah. Sorry, too.
Well, the other half are in the playing games.
BYU, former Mountain West school. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Mountain West and AAC have been doing it for a while. All right. Yeah. So the odds, let me rattle off the odds. If you're watching youtube.com/thecollegeexerience, hop on over here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Big 12 starts off Houston -140, Iowa State +300, Baylor +650, BYU +1200, Kansas +1500, Texas Tech +2200, Texas +3000, TCU +5,000, Oklahoma +10,000, Cincinnati +20,000, K-State +30,000, UCF +50,000, and Dub V +100,000, as well as Oklahoma State. Hilarious comment by David. So you're looking at the bracket right now. We have this things up. You can watch this show, youtube.com/thecollegeexerience. I prefer watching to me, I was doing the SGP show. I love the SGP show, but one thing I would like them to show the bracket, because you can kind of forecast, almost like you're dialing up a play in football or something here.
We've got to cater to the YouTube audience too. There's a visual aspect of the show as well.
True. Normally that's just my good looks, but in this case we actually have a nice little bracket.
And shout out to Projection Sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the south side of the bracket. But you gotta be nervous here if you're Houston, because TCU did beat Houston and Oklahoma only lost by 1 to Houston. I just think the south side of the bracket, there's a ton of value on Kansas, because Kansas will beat West Virginia or Cincinnati. Kansas, Baylor.
Maybe.
Kansas,
breaking news?
Yeah, real quick.
Dickinson
and McCullough are out for this tournament.
Ooh, I didn't know about McCullough. Okay.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, now all of a sudden
However, I will say positive news about Dickinson possibly being there for the NCAA tournament, though.
Hang on. What?
I think tide turning. As I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of. It's easy to see a tide turn.
All of a sudden, West Virginia.
Did I say those words?
Thursday.
Well, they do give Kansas fits, correct? So
they do, not in Kansas City though. They got to beat Cincinnati. They just lost by 50 to them.
Well, I really like that angle. I did the SGP show. I said, I already have a future on Kansas, but I think your 3 teams are all right there that I want action on. Texas makes a lot of sense to me.
Boom.
Yeah.
Kansas State is worth a shot at those crazy odds, because K-State just beat Iowa State the other day. They will have a little bit of a home edge, I think. So I think your shot, that circle that area. I wish I had the John Madden marker where I could just circle K-State, Texas, and Kansas. I think that's where you want to attack. I don't think you want to attack elsewhere at all, really, unless it's. I mean, maybe you could sell me on TCU. I don't even think I bet this yet, but I think I took a little bit of action on TCU on the SGP show. So I need to bet that. But I really don't think there's much value. I mean, I guess Baylor's path just got way better, because I had, so maybe Baylor's all of a sudden in the mix. This fucks up my whole plan now, because I thought Dickinson might be out for a game or two. This fucks up the whole plan. But Texas and K-State, definitely. I already have a ticket on Kansas, so I don't know that I would tell my clients out there, 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE, to go in on Kansas right now. I would say just go take K-State, Texas, and Baylor. Maybe you sprinkle TCU, but I don't think TCU is good enough to run the table. because I could see them knocking off Houston, but I could see Texas Tech beating TCU. I could also see Baylor, Iowa State, Texas beating TCU. It's a harder gauntlet. I think you want the south side of the bracket. South side of the bracket's the easy side. South side. Mac, what are you doing here?
Well, it definitely is. I like Iowa State. I think Iowa State will win the tournament. So I'm definitely going to get them 3-1. They're going to be the home team. They are going to have the crowd. If they play Houston in the final, theoretically, it's going to be a home game. It'll feel like you're playing in Ames. So I will take Iowa State to win it at 3-1. Now that things has changed, I'm going to take Baylor plus 650. Originally, I was thinking Texas.
Yeah,
but now
I think you got to jump in on that.
Yeah, I mean, originally I was thinking Kansas, but now I'm just going to go the 2 and 3 seeds. Iowa State and Baylor playing teams on their second and third games, and don't have to deal with half of Kansas's roster. So give me Baylor plus 650 and Iowa State 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-7-10 split. 3-7-10 split. Baylor, Texas, Kansas State. Noah, what are you doing here?
So yeah, I'm kind of splitting the bill between two of your guys' picks. I'm going with Baylor plus 650, Texas 30-1. These are the Cocktail Napkins' 4th and 3rd ranked teams currently in the Big 12. Specifically, I'm actually targeting Iowa State. Their side of the bracket here, they are 3-6. Iowa State is away from Hilton this season against top 50 KenPom teams, with outright losses to Virginia Tech, Texas A&M, and Kansas State. So if you kind of just if you were to sort the data on Torvik since December 16th, that's when Dylan Dessou returned for Texas. They're the 16th best team in the country, or at least playing like it. As for Baylor, they're going to most likely play the shorthanded Kansas, or they're going to get Cincinnati, West Virginia. I like that draw. Then they would play Iowa State in the semifinal, who I would favor them over on a neutral floor, or I would have a Baylor Texas semifinal, which that's the goal, to get at least one team into the championship. So yeah, Baylor's plus 650 for me and Texas 30-1.
Now, the only pushback, Noah, it's not going to be a neutral floor.
Yeah, Kansas and Kansas State will have an edge.
No, and Iowa State. Iowa State travels as good as anybody to this tournament. Iowa State may travel better than Kansas. They call it Hilton South. You're going to see this crowd. It's like UConn in the Garden. It's nuts how crazy they are there.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it.
Well, I can tell you this. I was trying to find this.
What's that?
I might have scrolled too far up. Oh, Mike was saying no one else thinks BYU on a future. I don't, because I think they're not used to the Big 12 tournament.
Too up and down. Yeah.
And I think they could, they just played Oklahoma State and beat them in Provo, but UCF and Oklahoma State, I think, didn't UCF get them in Orlando? I think they did.
Yes.
I just think that's
yeah.
I think they did. And then after that, they're going to have to play Texas Tech, and then most likely Houston. And then after that, you would get Baylor, Iowa State, or Texas or Kansas. No, I don't think there's any value in BYU. I think it'd be very unlikely for BYU to win this tournament.
For what it's worth, I still think there's plenty of time to sell high on BYU. I think they've really kind of overperformed expectations so far this year. They're the 4th favorite to win this thing, according to DraftKings, and their betting odds. Cocktail Napkin currently has them 9th, which it's a total logjam. There's not much separating a lot of these teams, but I don't think there's any value on the Cougs.
All right, let's hop to the next conference.